going on, Bears fans? Welcome to Geek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Who is this?
Big Bucket.
Big Buckus. Walter Payton, he's the man. Finds Cole Kmet wide open. Touchdown Bears. Let's go. Who is this?
Georgia.
Nice throw, Jay Fields.
I think I can fit in as like a water boy for the Panthers or something. I'm not talking about get on the field,
It's picked off. Picked off an end zone by Kyler Gordon. Let's go. Put some respect on Kyler Gordon's name. And as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for yet another live stream right here on Geek on the Mic. I know I'm not in my normal, usual studio setup. I am not at home currently. I'm over at my parents' house. My parents are visiting with my daughter, so I decided I was going to hop on real quick and just go over this rumor that we're talking about. Obviously, everything's been regarded around quarterback Justin Fields, and obviously you see the title, Rumors. Bears have yet to shop quarterback Justin Fields. So it's one of those things that we've been talking about Justin Fields a lot. And what is Justin Fields' actual market? Obviously, right? And it seems right now that the market is really thin on quarterback Justin Fields, right? So the first destination was supposed to be the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons gave Kirk Cousins all that money. So now that's taken away. Then it was like, oh, he's going to go to the Las Vegas Raiders. They went out and got Gardner Minshew. So take that away. I'm pretty sure Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears do not want to send Justin Fields to the Minnesota Vikings and have to play Justin Fields twice a year. So you start looking at the options for Justin Fields. Where will Justin Fields actually end up if the Chicago Bears do, in fact, want to trade quarterback Justin Fields? And to me, I feel like that is still very much up in the air. But to get things started, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you hit the like button of this live stream as well. But let's go over the rumor on today's episode of Geek on the Mic. And it's very simple. I believe it was Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter. One of the two basically said that the Bears have yet to shop quarterback Justin Fields, and they are waiting and not fully comfortable with Caleb Williams yet. They still want to get Caleb Williams medicals. They still want to go to his pro day. They still want Caleb Williams to come to Hallis Hall and have an official visit to Chicago, right? But here's the issue now. If you want to trade Justin Fields, the suitors are starting to get thin, and obviously teams are going to get tired of waiting, which obviously that's what the teams did. The Falcons moved on. The Raiders moved on. Teams are going to move on because they want to get their stuff in order prior to the NFL draft, prior to the new season, obviously, right? So that makes me seem to believe. And obviously, you guys can disagree with me if you guys want to. That is totally fine. That's why I come on these live streams to engage with you guys. You guys can have a different opinion than me. It is totally fine. But it's starting to make me believe that the Chicago Bears probably don't want to actually trade quarterback Justin Fields. Obviously, they showed some interest in maybe possibly fielding calls for quarterback Justin Fields, but do they actually want to trade quarterback Justin Fields? Because to me, how I look at it, if they really wanted quarterback Justin Fields gone, they could have did what the New England Patriots did to Mac Jones and traded him away for a bag of chips for a 6th round pick. But obviously, if Ryan Poles is fielding calls on Justin Fields, it's sounding like he wants a second, and that's it. He's not asking for a first, but he at least wants a 2nd round pick. From what I've been hearing, teams are saying that's way too high of compensation. So he's not, it sounds like Ryan Poles is probably not going to be willing to just give away Justin Fields for a bag of chips. He's not going to release Justin Fields. That's just straight stupid. To me, I think the lowest that Ryan Poles would probably go is possibly a 3rd round pick. And I find it hard to believe that on social media that you're hearing things like, well, teams are valuing Drew Lock and Sam Darnold more than Justin Fields. Justin Fields is better than both of those quarterbacks. Obviously, Justin Fields has his flaws, and he does. I'll be the first one to admit it. But Justin Fields is better than Sam Darnold and Drew Lock. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the chat and try my best to interact with you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another live stream. Once again, the Bears have yet to shop Justin Fields, and that's coming from a guy like Adam Schefter, right? Those are the guys that we can find that are valid. These are guys are valid. They have connections around NFL circles. I'm just basically quoting what they said on NFL Network earlier today. Here we go. Jeff says the market doesn't like JF, plain and simple. And maybe that's the case. Maybe they're not willing to give him that fifth-year option. They understand that. And maybe they also don't want to give up the draft capital that Ryan Poles is asking for. I personally believe that it doesn't have anything to do with actual talent. I think Justin Fields has talent. Does Justin Fields have flaws? Yes, Justin Fields has some flaws. But I feel like if he ends up in the right system and with the right coaches, those flaws can be coached up. I think Justin Fields can be a very good player in the National Football League. That's just my personal opinion once again. But I think the market is just not good. RD says, Williams seems like an a-hole, not a leader. Trade down and keep Fields. It's starting to seem like that may be the best case scenario, really, just to keep Justin Fields and build around him. Maybe this is Ryan Poles' master plan to continue to let the market work itself out. Once, the holes fill up, some teams may become desperate. Maybe the New England Patriots come knocking and said, hey, we'll give you this for Justin Fields. Who knows? Maybe this is his plan all along. Who knows? Clint Jefferson said Fields will be gone. Definitely could be an option still. I'm not saying that Justin Fields can't be traded. I'm just letting you guys know what I heard from Adam Schefter on NFL Network today. He said Bears have yet to shop Justin Fields. They are interested in the idea of trading Justin Fields possibly, but they have yet to shop Justin Fields because they want to make sure they're 100% sure that they want to take Caleb Williams. That means they still have to go to his pro days. They want to have him on his visits. But here's the issue. His pro day is not until March 20th. The Bears want to get this thing done as soon as possible, not to only do right by Justin Fields, but to make sure they also have their plans in order. So my question is now, for all the people saying that Justin Fields is going to Atlanta, for all the people saying that Justin Fields is going to the Raiders, for all the people that are saying that he's possibly going to the Minnesota Vikings, where else could Justin Fields possibly go? Anthony says, plot twist, the Bears were never planning to trade Fields. Maybe that's also another scenario. Who knows? Was Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears actually wanting to trade Justin Fields, or were they just trying to use this as leverage for the number 1 overall pick? I feel like everything is still in play. Rich Prophet says, gosh darn it, just keep Justin Fields in build. That's looking like what the best case scenario is. I know Adam Rank came out today on Instagram, and not Instagram, but on social media, on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and was just basically saying that I think the best case scenario now for the Bears is to keep them and build around them. So to me, I'm just basically, like I said, I'm just saying what Adam Schefter had to say on NFL Network. It seems like now maybe you start questioning if Ryan Poles and the Bears actually wanted to trade Justin Fields. We have Mikey Mendez in the chat. Thank you so much, Mikey, for tuning in for this quick little live stream episode right here on Kick on the Mic. He said Fields is going to be traded. He just sucks that bad that Poles is going to have to settle for a couple of 6th-round picks. Sell those Fields jerseys before it's too late. Fields is going to Arizona. Mikey Mendez, I don't agree with you whatsoever. I truly don't. I don't think Fields sucks. I don't think Fields is that bad where you're going to get a couple of 6th-round picks. I really don't. But I appreciate your comment. I really do. Once again, I'm going to try to catch up to your comments as we're talking about this. I really appreciate you guys' engagement, tuning in with me. Make sure you do me a solid favor and hit that like button on today's live stream. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. And obviously, we haven't heard any more news. All we did is sign DeAndre Swift today, and we're just kind of waiting out. What else would Ryan Poles do? But I heard this on NFL Network, and I felt the need to come on here and talk to you guys. Muck the General, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you. He says, Justin is gone, Keek. It's over. It's not over until it's over, Muck the General. Unless you have sources that you can tell us. If you have sources that tell us that Justin Fields is gone, Ryan Poles doesn't want him, please be my guest and let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. But until it's over, nothing's over, right? So Chris Watson says, build a monster team, trade down. That's still very much up in the air, right? I think all options are on the table. Once again, I just find it interesting that Adam Schefter would come out on NFL Network, and obviously he's probably been hearing things. Right? It's like, hey, they're interested in trading Justin Fields, but obviously they're not 100% sure on Caleb Williams. Don't you find that concerning? Not so much, right? Obviously, they only met with Caleb Williams once, but obviously they've been doing some background information as well. So it's one of those things that if they're not 100% sold on Caleb Williams or one of these quarterbacks in the 2024 NFL draft, they are not going to trade Justin Fields for a bag of chips. I think Ryan Poles is set on either a 2nd-round pick or a 3rd-round pick and a player. That's probably going to be his asking price. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's just the nature of the business, right? I just don't think teams want to give up a draft pick and have to pick up Justin Fields' fifth-year option. I think that's what it is, truly is. So at that point, Justin Fields would end up being a one-year rental, and you had to give up some draft capital for him. Someone said Fields to Vegas for a fourth-round pick. I really thought that he had a chance to go to Las Vegas, but then they signed Gardner Minshew, and that contract, even though Gardner Minshew has been known as a backup, that Gardner Minshew contract was what, 2 years, $25 million? To me, he's going to get the opportunity to start. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a good spot for Justin Fields. Someone said just release Fields. That is not smart. Don't just release him. I'm telling you, they're not just going to release him. They're not going to just trade him for a bag of chips. If they did trade him for nothing, that would be really, really surprising to me. And that's just me. Once again, I'm going to try to catch up to all your guys' questions. I really appreciate the engagement, you guys joining me. Once again, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the bell notifications as well. I really do appreciate it. MC Fax says, yeah, hit that like button. 171 in the chat and only 20-something likes. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Make sure you guys do me a favor and hit that like button. I really appreciate you guys. Amos, how you doing, man? I appreciate you tuning in. He says, bro, JF1 ain't going nowhere. Listen, Bears are going to prove that their first round pick is who they know he is, period. Next NFC champions, we just picked up Swift. It's a wrap. Definitely everything's on the table. I think everything is on the table for sure. Jason Toy says, you really think they're shopping Justin? He would have to get at least some kind of offer, not crickets. Justin is not on the market. And that's what makes me, that's why I wanted to come on here and kind of discuss with you guys for a little bit. Because I'm like, man, something's not adding up. I was already kind of going down the line. I'm like, okay, Justin Fields going to get traded. We're going to draft Caleb Williams. But then when you hear like Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport come out and says, you know what, we're not sure if he's actually, being traded or he's even being shopped. And maybe that's why the market is thin. Who knows? Who knows? I could be wrong about all this. Maybe Ryan Poles has something up his sleeve. Maybe Justin Fields will be traded by tomorrow. Who knows? But I think everything is still on the table until Ryan Poles actually comes out and says that Justin Fields is gone, right? So I'm going to go down the chat. Thank you much. Thank you guys so much for interacting with me. I appreciate you guys. Someone said, I'm glad Aaron Jones is gone. He gave us nightmares. Definitely a downgrade for the pack. I think Josh Jacobs is a very good running back, right? But I feel like Aaron Jones, man, I'm glad to see him go too. I'm glad to see him go. I really am. If you just now joined the live stream, thank you so much for joining another live stream right here on Kick on the Mic. The topic of discussion today on the live stream is rumor. Bears have yet to shop quarterback Justin Fields. And this is coming from Adam Schefter. And he basically said, yeah, the Bears have yet to shop Justin Fields. They're interested in maybe shopping him, but they have yet to actually have these deep conversations about actually sending quarterback Justin Fields to a different team. Someone said, David Kaplan going crazy right now. Yeah, David Kaplan's probably going nuts right now because he's probably like, oh, man. He even said, he's like, hey, we are drafting Caleb Williams, and that is that. We're not keeping Justin Fields. So he is probably going nuts right now. Or he is just, saying, hey, false news, right? We have Preston James in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us, Preston. He says, checking in, Keek. Hey, thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate all your guys' support. Angel says, there is a market for Justin Fields if the Bears wanted to trade him. Mac Jones trade. And that's the thing. If the Bears really didn't want Justin Fields, they could have traded him by now for a 6th-round pick. But here's the thing. They want to at least get a 3rd-round pick for Justin Fields. And that's what I'm possibly thinking. And think about it. Ryan Poles kind of did this before. And obviously it's 2 different positions. Remember at the trade deadline when they allowed Jalen Johnson to go out and possibly get a trade, right? Find a trade partner. And the rumor came out saying that Ryan Poles was looking for a 1st-round pick and no one was willing to give the Bears a 1st-round pick for Jalen Johnson. That's what kind of the situation reminds me of, is that he's putting Justin Fields value at a very high price because he actually doesn't want to trade Justin Fields, right? He's like, hey, I want a 1st. Hey, I want a 2nd. Knowing that a team possibly won't give us that, because he doesn't actually want to trade Justin Fields. But if a team did come to us, say, hey, we'll give you 2 seconds, or hey, we'll give you a 1st-round pick for Justin Fields, then he would probably ship Justin Fields away. So who knows? Who knows at this point? Once again, thank you guys so much for the engagement. Keep the engagement coming. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm going to try my best to get to every single question on this live stream tonight. Once again, we have so much more Bears content coming to you guys. There's going to be more Bears news coming. Who's going to be the next player that the Bears actually sign? But for right now, we are talking about Justin Fields and this weird situation going on in Chicago. Someone said he knows his real value. That means you're talking about Ryan Poles. Someone said exactly. I'm guessing you're agreeing to the point that I just made. Larry says they also have not signed a wide receiver. Maybe going to keep Fields, draft the wide receiver with their first pick and offensive tackle or DN at number 9. Very well could be. They're probably going to try to trade down, right? Trade down a little bit, get a couple of picks, and then just keep building around Justin Fields. Someone said JF1 road to elite. I appreciate you. Someone said Calvin Ridley. I would love Calvin Ridley on the Bears. Pairing him with DJ Moore, I think that would be a very good pickup. Very, very good pickup. Someone said Justin Fields is 0-6 versus Green Bay. It's time to go. Hey, man, everyone's 0-6 against Green Bay. When's the last quarterback that's actually been successful? When's the last Bears team to be successful against the Green Bay Packers, right? No Bears team has actually dominated the Green Bay Packers in my lifetime. So just to call out Justin Fields there, it's just silly. That's silly. But I appreciate your comment. I really do. We have Brian in the chat. He said, bear down to you as well. Brian, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Thomas said, Fields is not going anywhere. They will trade down, take Penix Jr. in the second round. You know, and that's what I've been hearing a lot too, saying, hey, just because we keep Justin Fields doesn't mean we don't still draft a quarterback. You trade down, maybe in the second round, you get Bo Nix, right? You get Michael Penix and bring them in. And then if maybe they sit a year behind Justin Fields, and then if Justin Fields doesn't pan out, at least you have your backup option. And I'll even say this. Maybe Tyson Bagent sticks around, right? And he's Justin Fields' backup. Maybe he grooms a little bit more. And maybe if Justin Fields doesn't pan out, then you give Tyson Bagent a shot to be the starting quarterback. Who knows? Who knows? There's so many different scenarios. Who knows what the Bears are going to do? Who knows what the Bears are going to do? Joe says, Justin Fields is the rising dark phoenix of the NFL, always getting better as much as the situation gets better. And that's a good point to bring up. You look at Justin Fields' timeline, right? Year 1, he wasn't even supposed to play. Year 2, Ryan Poles tears down the team. Year 3, finally give him a couple of weapons, basically one weapon in DJ Moore. The defense wasn't good until the second part of the season, right? So as Ryan Poles continues to build this team, Justin Fields will continue to get better. Miles 15 says, Bagent, question mark? Nope. Not for everyone. Bagent's not for everyone. Someone said Poles knows. Absolutely. Poles is the only one that knows. Philip says, hey, Keek, how are you doing, buddy? Finally, the craziness will be over. Yeah, sooner rather than later, the craziness will be over. We'll know what's actually going to happen with this whole Justin Fields debacle. But like I said, I just find this quite interesting. I really do. Because it's like, what is going on inside Halas Hall? What does Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears actually want to do with the situation? And I can't really tell you guys at this point. No one knows. No one knows, right? Obviously, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport will come out and be like, hey, I think I kind of know. They're not shopping Justin Fields, but they're also interested. But still, that's not giving us a straightforward answer of what the Chicago Bears are actually going to do with Justin or the number 1 overall pick. Mark says 129.6 QB rating with Moore last 6 games. Yeah, obviously we all know that Justin Fields and DJ Moore together was absolutely electric. And I think that's one of the things where Ryan Poles is like, well, look at how good he did with DJ Moore. If we add a Marvin Harrison Jr., if we go out and get a Calvin Ridley, right? If we go out and get a Brock Bowers and continue to build the offensive line, what will Justin be? And obviously there's still big question marks maybe as Justin Fields as a passer. But they're probably having those conversations is like, if we give Justin Fields one more guy on the other side, will Justin Fields be able to take that next leap? Amen says, MHJ and Fields both from Ohio State. Do the math. Ugo Booga says, Fields could absolutely improve. The Bears could get him a weapon outside of DJ Moore. I believe so too. I truly believe so. And that's the fun thing about the Bear situation. They can go in many different directions. And that's why I've always told you guys on the podcast is that the Bears are in a very good situation. They really are. And I like how Ryan Poles is playing this. He's trying his best to be patient. And I think the reason why he's being patient because he wants to get the best compensation possible. Rather it is trading quarterback Justin Fields or rather it's trading number 1 overall pick. He wants to make sure he's putting the Bears in the best situation possible. But once again, if you're not 100% sold, if you're not 110% sold on Caleb Williams or one of these quarterbacks in the 2024 NFL draft, do not trade quarterback Justin Fields. Just, it's that simple. Rather you love them, rather you hate them, rather you don't have an opinion, you don't get rid of your quarterback that you have if you're not 110% sold on Caleb Williams. If you're 110% sold on Caleb Williams, bring him into Chicago and let's ride. Let's ride. Mikey Mendez says Fields should go to the Vikings. They have a good offensive coach and way better receivers. And here's the thing. I think Justin Fields does deserve the opportunity to be with a good coach. And I think obviously Kevin O'Connell is a great offensive mind. I just don't see Ryan Poles making that move in the division because here's the thing. If he goes to Minnesota, knowing our luck, he's going to come back twice a year and absolutely tear us up. So Philip asks, what is the Bears cap space right now after their signings? Any chance at Danielle Hunter? I think there's a big chance at Danielle Hunter. I know there's been interest from at least from the Bears' point of view. I think they would have enough cap space to make that move if they wanted to. I know Danielle Hunter is 29. I think that would be a massive signing alongside Montez Sweat. But I think there is a massive chance that they can go after Danielle Hunter. I think there's also a massive chance they can go after wide receiver Calvin Ridley as well. Don't forget that Curtis Samuel is still out there if they're looking for a wide receiver 3. There's still many things or many players out there that Ryan Poles and the Bears could pursue to improve this football team. So I think Danielle Hunter is still very much a possibility. Once again, thank you guys so much for the engagement. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Once again, do me a huge favor. We almost have 300 people in the chat. Make sure you smash that like button. That would really help the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Keek on the Mic. It's a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Make sure you smash that subscribe button as well. We are talking about Justin Fields and the craziness going on in Chicago right now. MZ Fact says, Keek, what if Poles drafts MHJ with the first pick? Nobody's talking about that possibility. And that's the thing. My dad even brought it up, and I may have to bring my dad in here because he's actually, I'm at his house. My dad said, how about this? Maybe Ryan Poles wants Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. Maybe that's our guy the whole time. Maybe we trade down and get Joe Alt. Maybe we trade down and get Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe we trade down multiple times and get Roma Dunze or Malik Neighbors. No one knows what Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears are doing. No one knows. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. We're gonna get Papa Bear in here, special guest, real quick, because obviously he's the one that made me a Bears fan. So we're gonna go ahead and let him give his opinion on the Bears. I know a lot of people have been asking about like, hey, where's Papa Bear? Here, you can go ahead and. I know the lighting's not the best. Go ahead and give your opinion, Dad, on the Bears. What are we doing?
So what's going on, Bears fans? I just feel like I'm not giving away Justin Fields for free. I mean. If you're not coming with at least a second-round pick to start, and that's just the start, you got to give me a second and maybe a fifth.
Yeah, someone's saying, hey, Papa Bear.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on with you?
Yeah, a lot of people always ask for you, like, hey, how's Papa Bear doing? Where's Papa Bear doing? Where's he
I
at?
don't have on no Bears gear right now. I got on Oregon State. My job, I work at a high school, and every Monday's college day. So every Monday I wear a different college to support and get the kids to go to college. So
what I was just telling them, something that's kind of intriguing to me is like we talk about it all the time about how at the trade deadline, when we allow Jalen Johnson to go seek a trade partner and we're like, hey, we want a first round pick.
Right.
That's how I kind of like this situation is. We're asking for a second round pick, knowing that no one wants to give us that.
Right.
But that means that Ryan Poles is not actually interested in trading Justin.
And that's what's going on, because if he wanted to trade him, he would have traded him.
That's what I'm saying. The Patriots did it with Mac Jones.
He'd have gave him away for free. But he knows that his ceiling is way too high. I mean, you got to put some people around him. And I know people want to say that they gave Justin 3 years. Well, hell, we gave Mitchell Trubisky 4.
Yeah, someone said, man, you got to close those curtains or it's Papa Bear and witness protection. LOL, just playing. Yeah, I know I'm not in my normal studio. I brought my daughter over so they can see, so she can see her grandparents. And I just saw this news. So obviously what we're talking about is Adam Schefter today on NFL Network was like, hey, you know, the Bears are interested, but they have not yet shopped Fields because they want to still meet with Caleb. They want to go to his pro day. They want to bring him back to Chicago. That's not going to fit their timeline.
But I think that's bullshit, man. I think that's all a smokescreen. Everybody can say what they want about. I think they're interested, man. They ain't interested in trading Justin. Because if you wanted to trade Justin, you'd have been and traded him already.
Yeah, people are like, close those curtains so we can see. See, it gets too dark. See, now it gets too dark. Let's see.
Yeah, turn that light on.
All right, that's probably a little better. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, like I said, this is the guy, this is the man that made me a Bears fan. Like I said, you guys always ask about, you know, how do you become a Bears fan, Keek, in California? It's because, one, my great-grandparents were born and raised in Chicago. That's where I get the name Keek, is from my great-grandma. And then obviously my dad, you know. And he gave me a choice. He gave me a choice. But hey, we love the Bears. But this is Bears fan. We really have to let this crap play out. Stop thinking you know what Ryan Poles is doing. I have to do a better job at this too, because no one knows what this dude's doing, and that's why he's such a good GM. That, you know. So
see, but no one can sit here and say what he's going to do. No one knew that he was going to go after Swift. I mean,
right.
He wasn't even on our radar.
Right,
so
right.
people need to stop thinking that they know what he's going to do when you don't know what he's going to do. And the bottom line is, if you're a true Bears fan, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
Right.
Simple as that. You're a Bears fan for a reason. I mean, I've been through heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak, but I'm still a Bears fan first.
Can I ask you this too? Because, you know, there's a lot of old heads, the old head Bears fans, and you fall in that category. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of Bears fans, you know, saying, get rid of Justin, get rid of Justin. What makes Justin Fields different? You know, obviously I've talked a lot about he hasn't been dealt like a good hand in his 3 years, but what makes him different compared to like Mitch, Jay Cutler, the quarterbacks before him?
Because both of those quarterbacks, man, that you're talking about, both had great defenses.
They had teams. Mm-hmm.
They had a team built around him. This is Justin Fields' first year having a true number one receiver. And if you go look at the numbers, the numbers is in the pudding. I mean, everybody wants to talk about numbers, but go look at the numbers.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields, Brock Purdy is number one, and then Justin Fields is like at number 6.
Yeah.
His clean pocket, his dirty pocket, his downfield percentage. Go look at his percentages.
Right.
And that's with just Cole Kmet and DJ Moore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't you put some pieces around him, and then let's see.
Yeah.
Give him a 4th year.
Yeah.
Put some pieces around him, fix the line a little bit,
yeah.
and then let's talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been the first one to say that if you do that, I'll be the first one to come on here and say, hey, we gave him everything possible to succeed. But people make actually a good point. This is Justin Fields' very first year actually having a decent team. We're not saying a complete team, a decent team, a number one wide receiver. But our defense wasn't even good until the second part of the year.
Right.
So,
but the thing that cracks me up is everybody want to put the blame on Justin Fields, which I get it. That's what happens in the quarterback. That's what happens. But my thing is, what happened when Justin Fields was scoring 30 points the year before that? He scored 30 points 4 or 5 weeks in a row, and the defense gave up 30-plus points. So Justin Fields supposed to be the quarterback. He's supposed to be the linebacker and the DB.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a team.
Yeah. And I think that was my big thing about, like, I know Luke Getsy's gone. That was my big thing. You just situated it, right? Like, those last 6 games where Justin Fields and the offense was putting up 30-plus points and the defense was giving up ass. We were expecting Luke Getsy to come out the following year and running that same offense.
Right.
But he came out the next year, week 1 against Green Bay, and it looked nothing like what we saw those last 6 games from the prior season.
Right.
And I think that was the big issue, is that, and even Flu said it, the adjustments. The
Right.
end game adjustments weren't there. The first 15 plays were
Right.
perfect, but
And then everybody can say what they want, but I don't want to hear no Bears fans' mouth when we do get rid of Justin Fields and then our rushing game goes to shit.
right.
Because you understand that rushing is part of him. So all you Bears fans that's talking about get rid of him, I don't give a flying fuck if he rushes for 300 yards and throws for 50, as
Yeah.
long as you're winning the game.
Right.
And that's all that matters. I'm an old school head, man, that I've watched Bears games, man. We won 10-7.
Right.
I get that it's a different time and a different era. I get that. But give the kid a chance.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think just give him one more year with a good OC, right? And Shane Waldron, he's an upgrade from Luke Getzey. Go get him a couple more weapons, right?
Right.
Just give him that opportunity to see what he's about. And I think that's what Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham, that's what they're probably discussing.
Right.
They're probably like, okay,
Right.
we have a talented kid, but we haven't given him the best opportunity.
Right.
So let's give him one more year. He's going to cost $3 million this year. We don't have to give him the 5th-year option.
Right.
You don't have to give him the fit. So everyone that's talking about, hey, he's got to cost $25 million in 2 years. That's not true.
Right.
The Packers didn't pick up, I think, Love's option.
No.
They just extended him for
Right.
a year to make it cheaper.
Right.
So there's ways around that. So it's one of those things. My dad and I preach it all the time. If we take Caleb Williams, we will be Caleb. You know what I mean? We'll ride with Caleb Williams. But here's the thing: we're going to have expectations. Like to me, expectations of the playoff team, no matter what. Oh, here we go. And I respect this guy, Dad, so you don't have to attack him too much. Me and him have a respect. We just have a difference of opinion.
Mhm.
He says 50 yards passing. Shake my head. That's crazy, bro. This is a passing league.
And you're right. It is. But if you win the game, what matters if he passes for 50 yards or not? As long as I'm winning the game.
And we're not sitting here. Okay, I don't want to sit here and compare Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields, but in the last 20 games, Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields' stats are like right on par,
Exactly.
passing and rushing.
Exactly.
But the reason why people are not talking about it because
he wins.
he's winning because he has a team around. He's a better team around him. Of
'Cause he
course,
wins.
Lamar Jackson is a hell of a quarterback,
Right.
but he's winning, right? So at this point, I think what Bears fans want to see, I don't think they have a problem with Justin Fields. They just want to win.
And I understand that. Been a Bears fan since the 80s. I
Yeah.
I get that.
Right.
I mean, I've seen one Super Bowl. I understand that. But at the same time, if you're a fan, be a fan.
yeah,
You don't get to be a fan when we're winning.
right.
Be a fan in the bad times and in the good times. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't understand that. And in my belief, I'm telling you right now, all you people, men, that are hating on Justin Fields, you might as well switch teams because they're not getting rid of him. So you can think what you want to think, but Justin Fields is going to be the quarterback in 24.
And that's what it's starting to lean towards because don't you think it's getting too late in the process now?
Pretty much.
It's getting too late. Like, are you really going to wait until March 20th?
Pretty much.
Like, first he was going to the Falcons.
Right.
Kirk went there. Then he's going to the Raiders. They just signed Gardner Minshew to me a starting money. 2 years, $25 million. That's not no backup money.
Right.
He's not going to the Vikings. Maybe the Seahawks. Maybe, but they have Geno. I don't think, and here's the thing, people are trying to, navigate like what Ryan Poles, the words he was saying at the combine. He says, I want to do right by Justin. Those words can be many things. Right. Doing right by Justin could also mean we're going to build around him.
Right.
There's so many, and that's the thing. We just have to wait this thing out.
But they just don't want to look at that.
They don't. They want to look at their narrative, right?
But then what cracks me up, this would be the same people if Justin Fields comes out and balls out.
Right.
And he throws for 30 touchdowns and throws for 3,500 yards. These are the same people that now you want to be on this bandwagon.
Right. And
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Just be a Bears fan.
Yeah.
I don't care who the quarterback is.
Right.
I'm going to be a Bears fan, regardless if it's Caleb, if it's Jaden Daniels, if it's the kid from North Carolina. It doesn't matter. I'm a Bears fan first.
Right. And my dad can vouch for me because I'll be the first one to say, and he can vouch for me. We really like Justin Fields. We really do like Justin Fields. But I've also said many times on the podcast that I will be fine moving forward. Like, we draft Caleb, we're Bears fans first.
Right.
And we always want to win. I get that. But we have to stop. I say it all the time. Stop attacking each other. Like, it's ridiculous.
But if you draft Caleb, who's blocking for him? Who's he throwing to?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about building for the future.
Right.
Like,
when have the Bears actually built a team?
right.
You know, yeah, that's
Like,
true.
We got continuity. We got a team.
Going,
Everybody's going. Everything's flowing right now. So why would you change that?
yeah.
I get that. I get that the new Lamborghini looks good, and you want to get the new Lamborghini, but sometimes it's not greener on the other side.
That is true. Someone said doing right by Fields could definitely mean give Fields the pieces. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You can make this however you want it to make it, right? You could take his words and what he said, but when you have Kevin Warren coming out saying, "Hey, we're going to do basically the exact same thing last year," right? And you have Ryan Poles saying, you know, I have to be blown away, not only by the player, but by the person. Right. And for me, if Caleb Williams would have just come to Chicago after the combine, it would have probably been a done deal.
Right.
But since he waited it out, I think that may also be affecting him. So
I don't think Caleb really wants to be in Chicago.
I think he wants to go to Washington.
I think he's just saying the right things, man. It's just like me being a high school football coach. And when the scouts come talk to me, the scouts are going to tell my players what they want to hear so they can get them there.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone said 2 Keeks on the mic. LOL. Someone said, Keek, your dad is a wise man. It's Marvin Harrison Jr. no matter what. Is that how you're kind of?
Oh, yeah.
It's Marvin Harrison Jr. Bust? Or I've actually told them that you told me that you would be fine with Joe Alt, too.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're a Notre Dame guy, though.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just saying, and everybody's been saying it, put half of DJ Moore on the other side.
Yeah.
And that's Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put any one of those receivers on the other side, to be honest. But I think everybody says this, Marvin Harrison is the best talent in this draft.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Darnell Mooney was even kind of screwed by Luke Getsy. I would love to even have him back.
Right.
But I think he just, I think it's better just to move on. But someone asked you a question, Dad, says your pop's a coach. If you want to give a background of why you're so knowledgeable.
Yes, I'm a high school coach. I've coached high school football for about 25 years. I do high school football. I do girls and boys high school basketball. I've done baseball. I'm doing track right now. So I do multiple things. Then I also coached my son when he was in college. He plays soccer, and I even coached his soccer team. So I dabble in a little bit of everything, but football's my main thing.
Yeah, that's what he's most, I would say most passionate. Well, I can't even say that. You like baseball too, but I feel like you're most passionate about football.
Yeah. But
people are still commenting in the chat. I really appreciate the engagement. Someone said busy Papa Keek. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I like to bring different perspectives on here because, here's the thing about me growing up. If I was wrong, my parents would let me know I'm wrong. Like if I was going too far with this, my dad would be like, hey, no, because we have differences of opinions too. There'll be time where he doesn't like a player and I kind of have to give him some intel like, hey, no, I think it's a good fit because of this. He's like, no, I don't really agree. So even though we have like the same opinion, we also have different opinions all the time. Like there'll be time we'll get into some deep discussions about the Bears.
And then another thing, man, that I like to bring up about Justin Fields, everybody want to say, oh, he can't throw the ball and he's just a runner. Go look at his college tape. Justin Fields barely ran in college.
Yeah.
And I get that he had the best players, but still, everybody said he can't throw. But, I mean, this dude was throwing darts in the snow.
Yeah.
Darts in the freaking snow. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Quit it about he can't throw. He can throw the ball. You just got to give him goddamn time to throw.
Right. But at the end of the day, like I said, I wanted to come on here really quick and just kind of go over this rumor because I feel like it's interesting. It needs to be talked about because I was actually starting to be like, you know what? I can see. I'm like, you know what? If that's what they want to do, let's ride. Let's go with Caleb. But when you have people coming out, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, and all of a sudden they're saying, oh, well, I don't know. There's nothing guaranteed. Like no one actually knows what's actually going to happen. But Dad, before we kind of cut this off, any other player you like the Bears to sign? I know we got DeAndre Swift. Any opinion on that? And who else would you like the Bears to get?
Swifty was I had totally forgot about him, man. My mind was on Barkley and Jacobs, man. So I totally forgot about him, man. But I think that's a great pickup. He's a great piece. He can do it all. He's a dual back. So right. I like that about him. And I also like that he can block. So that's huge. That's a huge piece. But I'm just gonna say this last thing about Caleb. I think Caleb Williams is a great talent. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But my thing is, he is not better than Justin Fields right now. I'm not saying he won't ever be better than Justin Fields, but I'm just saying, as of right now, that's why it's so important. If you take Caleb Williams, he better take us to the playoffs. Simple as that. Because you're telling me by you drafting him, he's better than Justin Fields right now. And you can't say that because he's never played an NFL down.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just kind of funny to me, like when you get people like, oh, watch Caleb's tape, college tape. He didn't have no offensive line. Justin did? In the National Football League? Oh, he didn't have no weapons. Justin did?
Right.
In the National Football League? So
Right.
it goes both ways. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to have your opinion, but you have to be open to listening to other people's opinions and respecting that opinion.
Yeah.
That's the point of sports talk, right? I think that's why people like coming to my channel, because I give you guys opportunity to, be respectful and give your opinion, but also try to be respectful about
But it also boils down to, just like I say, and I know that you say this all the time, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. We're fans. We're not ownership. We're not the GM. We are fans.
Yep.
We choose to root for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
So be a fan, whether it's Justin Fields or it's Caleb Williams. Be a fan. That's all I'm asking.
Someone said, I'm a Keek fan, but if your dad put out a show, I'm jumping ship. Much love, guys. Good show. Probably should do this. Yeah, I want to make this more of a thing, having my dad on, because he's more fiery than me. Like, if he doesn't like one of you or you say something that ticks him off, he will let you know. I'm more like, okay, I deviate situations. I don't care. But he's definitely more fiery than me. But hey, like I say all the time, Bears fans, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Share the podcast with every single Bears fan you know. Make sure you hit the bell notifications as well, because there's going to be a lot of Bears news coming your way. You don't want to miss any Bears content. Dad, have anything else to say before I cut this off?
Hey, it was a pleasure. I love all you guys. Thank you for supporting my son. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm going to be on more lives. Because I want to talk some shit too. Okay. So, hey, enjoy. I appreciate you guys. Bear down.
Hey, bear down, guys.